Good afternoon, folks. This afternoon's topic A is Superagers. So let me get settled for the show and I will get going with this for everybody. All right, folks, I'll be right with you. I have to put my gear on. Back up so that everybody sees me. Okay, like I said, today's show is about superagers. Superagers are individuals aged 80 and older who exhibit memory performance compatible to people decades younger. The, the term was popularized by researchers at Northern University who have studied these cognitively resilient individuals to uncover what sets them apart. Here's what the research typically highlights. Okay, key findings from superagers studies. Brain structure. Superagers tend to have thicker brain regions associated with memory and attention, particularly the interior cingulate cortex. Neuropathology. Their brains show fewer signs of typical age-related decline, such as tau tangles, despite having similar levels of amyloid plaques. Neuronal features. They often have larger entorhinal cortex neurons and more von Eckmo neurons, which are linked to social cognition and decision making, genetics and lifestyle. Some superagers lack high risk genes for Alzheimer's, like APOE4. Lifestyle factors such as regular physical activity, strong social ties, and engagement mentally stimulating activities play a significant role. Implications. Understanding superagers could help develop interventions to promote cognitive resilience in aging populations. Their stories emphasize the value of purpose, connection, and lifelong learning. If you'd like, I can dive deeper into how these insights could be applied to memory friendly housing, frailty aware care models, or even caregiver training frameworks. The superager research carries profound implications for aging populations, especially in how we understand cognitive resilience and design interventions to promote healthy aging. Here's a breakdown of the key takeaways. Give me 1 second, folks. Cognitive resilience is possible. Defying norms. Superagers challenge the assumption that memory decline is inevitable with age. Their brains show fewer tau tangles, one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's, despite having similar levels of amyloid plaques as their peers. Neuronal strength, they possess larger enthronal neurons critical for memory, and more von Eckmo neurons linked to social behavior, suggesting structural advantages that might be innate or preserved through lifestyle. Genetics and lifestyle interplay. Protective genes. Many superagers lack high-risk genes like APOE4 and researchers are investigating whether they carry protective genes possibly related to immune function that could be leveraged for broader interventions. Lifestyle matters. Activities like social engagement, physical movement, and creative pursuits, e.g., singing, crafting, civic involvement, or common among superagers, reinforcing the value of purpose and connection. Implications for healthcare and policy. Rethinking Alzheimer's treatments. Since superagers and their peers have similar amyloid levels, this raises questions about whether current treatments targeting amyloid plaques are addressing the right pathology. Designing interventions. Frailty-aware care insights from superagers can inform models that prioritize cognitive arrangement and social connection. Memory-friendly housing. Environments that support autonomy, creativity, and interaction may help preserve cognitive function. Caregiver training, emphasizing empathy, cultural connection, and purposeful activity could enhance care outcomes. Societal and psychological impact. Role models for aging. Superagers a hopeful offer a hopeful narrative. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. Their stories encourage older adults to pursue passions, maintain relationships, and embrace lifelong learning. Spiritual and emotional uh, dimensions. Many superagers feel deeply connected to ancestry, land, art, or community. This emotional richness may be a proactive factor itself. Would you like to co-design a framework that integrates these insights into care models for underserved aging populations? We could explore how to embed cognitive resilience strategies into housing therapy or policy. Uh, you you can apply the superager findings to aging care models by integrating cognitive resilience strategies into everyday layer of care. From housing design to therapeutic engagement and policy, here's a structured approach. Frailty aware and memory friendly care models. Cognitive engagement. Incorporate activities that stimulate memory and social interaction, such as storytelling, music, and civic involvement. Social connectivity. Design programs that foster deep relationships, peer monitoring, integrational exchanges, and community rituals. Purposeful living. Encourage creative expression and meaningful roles for older adults, such as volunteering or teaching. Environmental design. Memory friendly housing uses intuitive layouts and sensory cues to support integration and recall. Integrate nature, art, and personalized spaces to enhance emotional connection. Smart technologies. employ ambient assisted living systems that adopt cognitive and physical changes, use predictive behavioral algorithms to anticipate needs and prevent isolation. Caregiver training and support, empathy and cultural uh, competency. Train caregivers to recognize emotional and spiritual needs, not just clinical symptoms. Include modules on ancestry, storytelling, and culturally reason, reason, reasonate practices. Interactive learning. Use simulations and role playing to teach responsive care techniques. Encourage co design with caregivers to tailor interventions to specific populations. Research, research informed therapies. Neuroprotective strategies. Explore regenerative therapies and neuroplasticity driven rehabilitation. Integrate anti inflammatory and brain healthy diets into care plans. Genetic screening. Consider ethical use of genetic data to identify individuals with protective traits and personalize interventions. Policy and program development, adult daycare integration, align programs with frailty aware and memory friendly principles, include creative therapies like dance, CBT, and mindfulness. Equity and accessibility, prioritize underserved groups such as homebound seniors. Embed cognitive resilience goals into finding and evaluating frameworks. Would you like to co-create a model tailored to a specific population like rural elders, dementia patients, or culturally diverse communities? We could build out a framework with uh, actionable components. Absolutely. Based on the Superager research and surrounding content, here are some specific cognitive engagement programs that could be integrated into aging care models. Creative expression labels or labs. Activities: painting, crafting, poetry, Writing, storytelling, circles. Why it works. Stimulates memory, emotional processing, and identify reinforcement. Adaptation can be tailored to cultural backgrounds or personal histories. 2. Music and movement therapy. Activities, singing groups, dancing therapy, rhythm-based exercises. Why it works. Enhances neuroplasticity, mood, and social bonding. Integration, combine with frailty aware physical routines or dual benefit. Cognitive clubs, activities, word games, memory challenges, trivia nights, language learning. Why it works. Targets a exclusive executive function and delayed recall. Key superager strengths. Design tip. Use peer-led formats to foster autonomy and leadership. Mindfulness and ancestral connection. Activities, guided meditation, nature walks, ancestry journaling, spiritual storytelling. Why it works. Builds emotional resilience and a sense of uh, rootedness. Bonus. Supports trauma recovery and end of life dignity. Civic arrangements and mentorship. Activities, volunteering, teaching youth, advocacy, and projects. Why it works. Reinforces purpose, social identity, and intergenerational connection. Policy angle can be embedded into adult day care or community outreach programs. Would you like to build out a sample weekly schedule or curriculum using these programs for specific population like homebound seniors or those in memory friendly housing? I'd love to help you co-design it. Yes, many cognitive engagement programs inspired by ager principles can be adapted across age groups. Here's a breakdown of how similar strategies can be tailored for different populations. Children and adolescents. Creative expression, art therapy, storytelling, and music programs to build emotional intelligence and memory. Mindfulness and movement, yoga, nature walks, and dance to support focus and self regulation. intergenerational and mentorship, pairing youth with older adults for shared learning and cultural exchange. Adults 20s to 60s, civic engagements, volunteering, advocacy, and community organizing to foster purpose and social connection. Cognitive clubs, book groups, language learning, and trivia nights to maintain mental agility, resilience, or reliance training, CBT based workshops, journaling, and stress. Hold on, and stress. And stress reduction techniques to support long term cognitive health. Older adults. These are the folks that are 60 plus in age. Memory friendly activities, reminiscent therapy, music and movement, and creative storytelling, purposeful roles, teaching, mentoring, and cultural preservation projects, spiritual and ancestral connection, guided reflection, legacy writing, and rituals that reinforce identity and emotional richness. Universal, universal design principles across all age groups. Programs should engage, encourage autonomy and creativity, foster deep social bonds, be culturally responsive and emotionally resonant, support lifelong learning and neuroplasticity. Would you like to co-create a cross generational engagement model, perhaps for a community center, school, or partnership, or integration in a generational housing initiative? Okay, so that's A, guys. I'll be back on shortly with B. Give me a little bit to put that together for you, please, and I'll be back on with it in a little bit for you. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.